My father passed away a month ago, Allah yarhamu, and I learned so much from the process that I had to share it with you guys. I realized today that, life is very short. I learned so many things, not only about how my father lived his life and actually lessons that I can take from him. And I want to share those with you because actually my father prayed Asr at 5:30 and at 7 o'clock he felt unconscious because he had a stroke. So an hour and a half after praying Asr, he was in wudu. He's 84 years old. He would walk to the shops. He would do everything by himself. And wallahi, to be honest with you, I'm very, very proud to call myself the son of my father. And in that, my father had a beautiful passing in the sense that, we did the whole burial process within a day. It was very fast. The ghusl process was very nice, very sweet, very quick. And actually there were some amazing signs. And look, I don't think we could ask for anything more than to ask our last act being praying Asr or praying Salah, right? And so how did he live his life? I mean, what did he do? Because actually it's something that many of us don't do. And I learned it from my father, and that is keep a hold of your tongue. In fact, it's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one that can hold his tongue and his private parts, keep control of them, then that person is guaranteed Jannah. And in today's day and age, a person that can hold his tongue, not get involved, not speak unnecessarily, not backbite, etc., man, like you're genuinely, it's such a big thing. My father wasn't a talibul ilm, he wasn't a person of knowledge as such, though he would seek knowledge where he could, though he would pray salah, he was, pray 5 times a day. This is really odd to say, he feared Allah. Like he feared Allah, he would never wrong someone. And if someone wronged him, he would forgive people straight away. And I think we have to take lessons from that, because many times we are so focused on being people of knowledge, memorizing Quran, memorizing mutuns, doing, as much as we possibly can, that we forget the things that we think are small, right? But they're not actually small. Actually, they're massive, to be honest. And by the way, this isn't me saying don't read Quran or don't seek knowledge. Of course you do that. But it's the emphasis on the holding your tongue, being a good person, having good character. That is so very important. And I have to say to you guys, that I genuinely believe that my father is in a better position. In fact, at the time of doing ghusl, his shahada finger was up. He was sweating before he passed. And we know this from evidence that, again, these are good signs from the person that passes, that he has had a good end. Obviously, we ask Allah to forgive my father in whatever he did, because of course, every single person is a sinner. There is no doubt. But I genuinely believe, because one, I know who my father was, and two, I think good of Allah Azza wa Jal, as we should. We should think good of Allah, that through Allah's mercy, my father's in a better position. It's important for us to have iman as well. And it's important for us to have yaqeen that, inshallah, your parents, if they are no longer around, they are in better positions. Now, I do want to say something, because I learned today, if I sit in front of you and I'm able to talk to you guys and not start crying and not tearing up, there are many reasons for that. One, I believe my father's in a better position. He went in the most beautiful way. But two, there were things that I did with my father before he passed, and I'm so very grateful for them. I had conversations with my father about how he was when he was a child, about, maybe his siblings, about, his family. I had conversations with him that I'm so grateful that I had, conversations that sometimes we avoid. As children, we don't like to have certain conversations. We don't understand our parents. We don't speak to them about the things that they want to speak about. We're always quite selfish about, speaking to them about things we want to speak about. Maybe we want to speak about what we want to do in life. But do we really find out what our parents were like when they were kids? When they went to school, when, who are their friends? And, what are the things they like? And I had those conversations. I got to have those conversations with my father. My father actually had a TIA. I actually spoke about it on social media. He had a TIA 6 months ago. It was a warning to us. We then went, took him to Pakistan. We did, a little bit of good as well, which I'd rather not say. But we did what we could. And in that moment, I learned who my father was. The last 6 months, my father passed away at 84. And in the last 6 months, I actually understood my father. It's crazy to say that, right? I go on to then have an amazing dream, and of course we don't hear now say that dreams are everything, but I have some amazing dreams where my father comes to me and tells me he's okay, the grave's okay for him, and good signs, good dreams. The point being is, what did he do? And I promise you guys, he was always the person that would hold his tongue. He would never speak unnecessarily. He would be in a gathering and you wouldn't even know he's there. Everyone would be speaking. Everyone would be, as they do in gatherings. And he would always be the quiet one. He would never get involved. He'd say like 2 words and it was like, that was it. He would forgive people straight away. If someone wronged him, he would say, it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever. And today I say, we should do everything that we're going to do. But remember, guys, seek forgiveness from Allah always. Forgive people always. Hold your tongue. Don't speak unnecessarily. Don't backbite. Control your private parts. Of course, that's a part of the hadith that I mentioned to you guys before. But there's so many things that we can do which are so easy. Just be nice to people. Just be nice and have a smile on your face and be as good as you can to people. That will be very heavy on the scales when it comes down to it. So, look, it's me saying our parents will go. And in conclusion, be as good as you can to your parents. Speak to your parents. Have conversations with them. Talk about inheritance, conversations, families, whatever you can. Make sure. Because once they're gone, you can't have that conversation anymore. And the one thing that I'm so very grateful for is I got to have conversations with my father that I never thought I was going to have. It was difficult. I pushed myself through it. I did have it. And today when my father's no longer around, I'm very grateful that I did. So I'll leave it there. And inshallah we'll carry on with the business and the sales and the rest of the videos in the upcoming videos.